Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to go back to Springbank Dustin, the local Barley, this time the 8-year-old. Dustin, we're a little late, but we always do the good Springbanks.
Yeah, I didn't think I was getting one, Mike, and we got a second arrival at the store by me, and got lucky. There was a whole thing about one of the owners decided to sell all the bottles pre-sale when I've been told I'm not allowed to order Springbank ahead of time.
But let me tell you something. One time, I went to go get a pair of Jordan 4s when they did a release. This is like 15 years ago. And the guy told me the story. He's like, hey, man, they're coming in, blah, blah, blah. We're getting in this time. And I was like, look, man, here's $100. You know, it's got like $100, $50 on me. Like, here's $100. Put in a pair of a size 11 and a half. Oh, is it wet?
Like, put aside like half the bottle in.
Put a size of the white was concrete Jordan 4s, 11 and a half back. Here's a $100 bill. And he was like, nah, don't worry about it, man. I'll be fine. I show up an hour early. Thing was bent. Because people would fucking almost push the thing down. They just decided to sell the shoes 2 hours earlier. Long story short, I got no shoes. But you did get this local Barley 8.
I did.
And I'm happy for us.
As apparently Springbank is continuing their recent tradition of, apparently they were upset they couldn't be on the Epstein Island and decided to make everything super young.
58.1% ABV. Late to the ball game, but better late than never with the local Barley's Dustin. 8 years old, very, very young.
Absurdly young. I don't understand. They did an 8-year-old Hazelburn, which sucked.
Yep.
There's a 5-year 100-proof Springbank coming out.
I still think...
Don't have high expectations.
I still think, like the second Star Wars of the new ones, we should remove that Hazelburn 8 Oloroso from the Oloroso profile.
Oh, agree.
If I ever own the company, I will ostracize it.
Yeah, no Darth Maul.
All right, let's get to it, Dustin. Another local Barley, a whiskey we always like. Beautiful color for 8 years. So
this is 50% sherry, 50% bourbon. I don't know if it's ex-bourbon or first-fill bourbon, but it's 50-50. And
nice sherry sweetness.
Right on the nose, man. It is very sweet sherry.
This doesn't smell 8 years old. This smells like a nice 10, 11, 12-year-old whiskey.
Yeah, the only thing I get youth-wise is there's a spiciness on the back end that really does kind of give me a little bit of youth note, but otherwise...
It feels more of a sherry note to me.
There's a little, I think the Arrival sherry, that spicy finish, I think is a mixture of youth and... I think it's the result of not being in the sherry cask long enough.
Perhaps. A little bit of a bite of wood, maybe?
It's just, I don't know. It's like the sherry didn't have enough time to really seep out and really get into that whiskey.
There's this twinge of prickly wood in here.
Twinge. Yep. Kind of like you're at Home Depot and you've got fresh cut logs. It's not rich old oak.
That's an enjoyable smell, though.
It's right there on the cusp. I think is kind of where...
A little soft pine in the background. Lovely.
A little bit of peat notes sneaking in here.
And, of course, the greatest nosing of all the woods, cedar.
It definitely smells like cedar, to be honest with you. That's kind of the thing, though.
Not quite as rich, but it's close.
My least favorite of the woods. To smell on a whiskey, at least.
Oh, probably you're right, because you know it's woody.
Yeah. And it's funny, it's sometimes young whiskey comes off overly oaky because it didn't have time for the oak to do its thing and let loose some of those sugars and sweetnesses that comes from the oak.
Caught in the middle.
Yeah.
Caught in the middle of transition.
Now, that said... I'm getting some Springbank notes here. The local barley is always a little different than your traditional Springbank. It's got a little something different. I've noticed they tend to be a little less peated, and this one is no exception, but perhaps the 8 years has left a little more peat overtness and here up on the nose.
You notice it. I don't think it's overly strong, but
No.
it isn't on the weak side either. I tell you what, a nice little citrus lemon coming in here.
Yeah.
A twinge of sourdough.
Sourdough, yeah. Almost reminds me of if they sweeten something with not Splenda, like aspartame or something.
To me, it's a little GW grinder sourdough bread just when it hits the oven.
It's definitely got a sour note to it here. It is very sour pine, wood glue-ish.
Pine, yes, I would agree with pine, Dustin. A light pine, walking through the needles, dead needles.
I am not a fan of the nose here, Mike, in general. I will say it's very aromatic. There's a lot going on. There's depth here. And I definitely can imagine as you kind of go back and give it time in the glass, you're going to get a sweet spot here. There's enough going on. But overall, for me, this is definitely not one of the more enjoyable Springbank noses. And that's something I love about Springbank is the great noses.
Well, As we've mentioned many times, this is one of Keith's favorite age statements to compare.
It's one of the best 8-year-olds.
So not only will we be giving you a review of this current local barley, the 24, we will also tell you where it ranks in the pantheon of epic 8-year-old Keith-approved whiskeys.
Now, on the palate, Mike, big, bold, explosive whiskey. It hits you with some good peat, some great spice, sherry notes. It is very spicy, very prickly. The youth is definitely playing a role in that spicy, prickly thing. But I think it kind of works. It's almost like they wanted to play the youth off of the aggressive sweetness, and it kind of balances in an interesting way. Really digging it. But I am, as a whiskey reviewer, in my head going, this is obviously young. This is definitely not something that was the best it could have been.
Initially, sweet sherry. Then as you swallow, some little pricklier notes, but I tell you what, as soon as you swallow the the spice came up, and it is a significant amount of spice. But it had a nice little golden barley linger to it, a twinge of vanilla kind of at the end. It is rough and it is unrefined. It's a guy, it has talent. It just, it's his first time playing the sport, first year. You're getting the basics down. There's potential here, Dustin. Mm-hmm. This is high in the pantheon of 8-year-olds.
Yeah, I will say,
this does a lot of things well.
It's not that Glen Scotia, though.
I said in the pantheon.
I know. I'm just saying, for those out there, this is definitely not that.
It was the monarch of the 8-year-olds. Yeah, I know. I love this kind of golden syrup finish with the spice attached to it, just stabbing around the side of your tongue.
This was exceptional vatting. They really were able to basically take some casks that were just not ready for the show and use that spiciness. I'm guessing some of the sherry casks were older, and they played with that whole back and forth thing.
Springbank likes a theme year to year a lot of times. You know what I mean? All bourbon or all sherry or all 8-year-old or all just something. They do like a theme.
Way too young, yeah.
They're all way too young. They want to see you in the different incarnations. And I tell you what, this compared to, say, the Old Rosso 8, Old Rosso 8 was putrid. This thing here, enjoyable.
Much, much better, yeah. This was definitely Springbank's cost-saving year. But at least this one, I'm not disappointed with the overall cost of it. I mean, it's definitely too much, as always. These local barleys are.
What was this?
$230? $230, yeah.
This is too much, but I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would.
Same here. I debated going back for a second bottle and decided that if they were still around in a few weeks, I might grab one. They weren't. They went quickly.
I always told you, if it's local barleys, grab me one. I'll buy it.
I have to buy them one at a time, Mike. So I gotta go home and get them the next day. I wasn't willing to make the drive.
That matters nothing to me. Just do it. Oh, you meant from your perspective?
Yes. I wasn't willing to make the drive.
I was wondering why you were going with that.
I was like, I just didn't want to get in my car and drive. It's an hour to go down there and back.
Your time meant nothing to me.
I know it means nothing to me.
Do it. I'm kidding.
I call him Mike and he's like, yeah, that's on this side of town. On the fourth Thursday of every month, I'm around there, so you can wait 3 weeks. And I'm like, it'll be gone.
Yeah. Needy, I think is what you call that. With water, though, Dustin, a little bit of honey golden syrup coming up here, along with that barley note. And it's still spicy.
Yeah.
Spice never left us.
There's like a barley soup almost thing kind of going on here.
A little minsu barley soup, huh? A little golden honey on the top. Dustin.
Definitely some honey notes, yeah. But yeah, it's got a little bit of like something I used to, back in my 20s, I tried a few times, like a barley soup type thing.
It's sashaying into a Las Vegas sushi restaurant almost, like with that umami ginger snappiness.
I don't get the ginger, but I do get the umami.
Not quite the ginger, but you know what I'm saying. It's got a little bite to it. Maybe that's more citrus than umami, but I'm just trying to create an overall feel for it.
I could see this going on some kind of fish or some kind of like shrimp or something. Like
paired with it, without a doubt.
Yeah. It's not a steak sauce. It's much more of a fish or maybe a lamb or something.
Not bad for an 8-year-old. Let's get to the palate with water.
Also surprisingly minty. I forgot to mention that earlier, but there's a pretty heavy mint note here on the wood as well. Yeah, it's pine mint. It's not, like wintergreen or something, but it's like pine mintiness.
A prickly pine is how I would describe it. I mean, water, kind of changed a few things around. Got a little lemon, got a little more fruity. I noticed the peat more. It was there before, but kind of unleashed the peat a little bit. A little more phenolic. Nice little whiskey.
I like what they did with the peat.
Nice little whiskey.
Definitely like that. I got a little more sweet up front, a little more chocolate coming through.
Yeah, big ABV.
Yeah, I mean, although, being 8 years, you hope maybe it'll be a little even spicier, hotter. I don't know.
Lovely color. The sherry really did some heavy lifting in a background sort of way.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It's the shell. I mean, it's what really made this whiskey important, I think, ultimately.
I think some of the other things kind of stood out and sort of took the show at a certain point, but that backbone of a nice sherry with a solid backbone, some nice chocolate.
Without that sherry, this would be a disaster. The sherry is what makes those flaws work.
You can get away with a peated whiskey, especially when you sherry, when you go young and high ABV. This is as well done as an 8-year-old is probably I've tasted since the Glen Scotia. Mm-hmm. I think Keith would approve. Whiskey score time, since it is your bottle, let me go first, Dustin. I know the score in my head. I'm just trying to come to, believe in myself to say this is what it really deserves. But
Going high, it sounds like.
86. It's a good, fun whiskey, but let's not get carried away. It's just an 8-year-old whiskey. It does have some basicness of youth. I like the ABV. I think Sherry Cask did a nice job. I have a soft spot for Springbank, but I swore a blood oath to you that I would be more objective. 86.
Same score, Michael. That's exactly what I was thinking. I really like it. It's a good whiskey. And, guys, in 2 years, this might come back and, open up, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, my goodness. But this has been open a couple months now, Mike. I forgot to bring it the last 2 times we got together, so this has had some time.
We are committed to.
It hasn't changed much.
If a whiskey got significantly better, we will re-review it if we were A, harsh, or B, just missed it.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of opportunity. We have
a lot of whiskeys that we probably should at some point go back to.
Hundreds of bottles of whiskey oxidizing open. Hundreds. We'll eventually get to it. All right, folks. 86 and 100, me Dustin are both there. That's a fair score. It's overpriced, sure. If you're a Springbank fan, you won't care about that. Or you'll care. You'll say you care.
You'll say, I'll say it, I'll still buy it.
As you still buy it. As I would still buy it. As it's still an 8-year-old. But yes, I would still buy this whiskey because Springbank and Lagavulin just buys, Dustin.
Yeah.
Just buys if it's not the core range. Anyway, those are our particular thoughts on this one. This one has been out a while. We haven't seen what other people have said. So if you guys say it's Trent's a try, last year's 24 Springbank.
I actually haven't read a single review of this yet because I was waiting for us to do it.
We never do. I can't read, so.
It's true.
Makes it easy. So if you guys say Trent's one, we'd love to know what you guys think. Just until next time, what's the folks?
Happy. Please drink older. Thank you.
See you next time.